personal finance made insanely simple for doctors. Hi there, I'm Dr. Josh Lumbley. I'm joined here today with Dr. Connor Yost, who is a PGY1 resident in internal medicine. And today we're going to review how lenders evaluate doctors. So, Dr. Yost, welcome. To begin, is it okay if I call you Connor?
That's totally fine. And I'm super excited to be here. Is it okay if I call you Josh?
Absolutely. First off, huge congrats on finishing medical school successfully and matching into internal medicine. I hope it has been a smooth transition for you.
It has not been easy. My wife also graduated with me.
Wow.
And we have a kid. So it's already been a challenging few years. I'm really interested in how you guys actually evaluate doctors.
Yeah, it's a great question. Lenders typically evaluate borrowers based on general criteria known as the 5 C's. The first is character. And in plain words, character is the borrower's reputation for repaying debts based on their credit history. Your credit score is a real-world example of character. For new doctors, this is going to be influenced by your on-time payment history to lenders, stable employment history, and obviously it's worth noting you're an intern.
Yeah, I can see how that would be really hard. As a PGY1, I'm just starting my career and I'm 30 years old. I'm super interested now, Josh. What's the next factor here?
We talked about character. The next one is capacity. In plain words, capacity is the amount of cash flow that you have compared to your debt load. And we utilize that to see if you have the capacity to pay your current loans and potentially take on new ones. And lenders like Doc refer to this as your debt to income ratio, or DTI.
I'm not an uncommon situation as a medical resident. I have a huge amount of student debt, as well as I'm starting off with a very low income. So I still don't really understand, how does this affect my capacity?
Many of the members of the Doc team have been exactly where you were. The average U.S. college graduate has about $20,000 worth of debt. A medical graduate typically has about $250,000, $250,000 worth of debt. A college graduate can graduate from college and immediately get a job and start paying that debt down at 23, 24, 25.
When I started medical school, I always thought student loans are structured in a way to make them look easier to deal with, pay off over time. Does the fact that they're student loans make any difference?
Yeah, it does make a difference. Loan structuring in general makes a huge difference.
So how do we fare on the next one?
So Connor, the third factor is capital. So capital is another word for the assets or the net worth a borrower owns. And that is what you are going to utilize to repay that loan. And so, of course, a lender is going to look at your existing savings amount or your investment accounts.
Well, that doesn't seem very fair.
You're right, Connor. You dedicated so much time as a medical student to matching into a great program, to finishing med school. And during that time, you certainly were not being able to accrue savings, and you were certainly not able to take advantage of investment accounts like a 401k. That's why we founded Doc to focus on doctors realizing the potential that they had and that their financial profile would change dramatically the minute they finished residency.
The fact that Doc understands that and has made that effort is honestly spectacular. People like all of you have probably changed already so many lives. I want to make sure I understand all of the different factors that we evaluate as well. What was the next one, Josh?
Yeah, Connor, the next one is collateral. And that is really an important factor when you consider securitized loans. So collateral is an asset that a borrower pledges as a backup payment for the loan. In the case of, say, like a car loan, the collateral is the car itself, that if a borrower is unable to make a payment, the lender can seize that asset. Let's say you miss multiple car payments, the lender can simply take that car back.
Does the lender provide better terms if it's a lower risk, if there's more collateral?
Yes, exactly. A collateralized loan is definitely going to have better terms. I used the example of a car loan. Can you think of another one that's even more common in terms of a collateralized loan?
Well, maybe more common for your age, but
right.
This is a mortgage.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
What if I have a car? Can I can I use that as collateral for a different loan?
So there are types of loans that use collateral like this, such as a HELOC or a home equity line of credit.
I plan on renting for a while.
That's a great idea. And as a matter of fact, renting made sense for my wife and I when I was in residency in Boston. And now that we've talked about collateral, let's dive into the last factor, and that's called conditions. So conditions are the variables that lenders use to set their rates or the terms for the loan that they present towards you. These can include the economic trends that are going on in current state.
Well, I'm definitely familiar with this one, kind of like inflation. So basically like the Federal Reserve's high interest rates, right?
Exactly. And so that is why it's important, in addition to everything that you're doing now as a medical resident, as a partner, as a father, you also probably should consider keeping up with the current events and especially the economic trends. Doctors can feel a direct and personal impact on these economic trends as they impact your own finances. Conditions also include how the borrower is going to use the loan. For example, if the borrower is going to use the loan for professional development, say, and maybe it's an expensive CME course that a junior attending wants to attend so that it expands his or her skills for a special surgical technique, then it has a higher probability of that loan being paid back.
Awesome.
So Connor, while we are on the subject of conditions, I want to ask you a question. Why do you think your terms might be better if you have a commercial loan compared to a personal loan?
In essence, their collateral is the business developing cash. So
Exactly.
it would be a lot less risky as you're investing in something that's going to cash flow immediately. So just to recap on everything that we've talked about, lenders look at the 5 C's when evaluating borrowers. The 5 C's are your character, capacity, capital, collateral, and conditions.
We've got some information to help you get started right now.
Awesome. Yeah, I just saw that you sent me over the doc2doclending.com/learn and some of the things I can take there for polls to see where I'm at, including my character, credit score, and compare me to where I can be.
Perfect. I hope you find them useful. Connor, overall, this has been a great conversation. Thanks so much for participating in it with me.
Yeah, I really appreciate your time, Josh. And it's nice talking with someone who understands where I've been and not just trying to evaluate me without understanding what it's like.
Definitely. All right. Have a great day.
You too.